Welcome to another episode of The Brand Called You, a podcast and podcast show that brings you leadership lessons, knowledge, experience, and wisdom from thousands of successful individuals from around the world. I'm your host, Ashutosh Garg, and today I'm delighted and privileged to welcome a very, very accomplished entrepreneur from Dubai, UAE, Dr. Mansoor Al Obeidli. Dr. Mansoor, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Ashutosh. Honored to be here.
Thank you. Dr. Mansoor is the founder and chief executive officer of Bedazzled and Aiwa events and the Middle East Beauty Ambassador. He has made outstanding contributions to the Middle East culture 2021, and he has been recognized by His Highness Sheikh Juma bin Maktoum, Juma Al Maktoum. He's acted in a short film, The Capital Garden, which was created to participate in the Abu Dhabi Film Festival in 2014, as well as the Gulf Film Festival in 2014. He's a serial entrepreneur, has founded 786, a media production and communications company based in Abu Dhabi. And Dr. Mansoor has been recognized, felicitated, and awarded several times. So, Dr. Mansoor, after such an amazing diversity of businesses, tell me a little bit about your own amazing journey from being a football player to a medical doctor, to an entrepreneur. What have been your learnings and your challenges?
I think I've been a person to accept God's will always. I mean, I've been having very strong faith, and that's how we were brought up as well. And I never questioned it. So I played professional football for Al Wahda club in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi, for around 13 to 14 years. And I got injured while playing, and then I came back. I had a ACL repair, cruciate ligament in the knee. And then I came back after 1.5 years. It's a long process, it's a major surgery. I came back, and then again I got injured within a few weeks.
Wow.
And when it happened the second time, I was like, this is very painstaking. I would love to go back, but it's difficult when you're training alone for like 1.5 years, watching everybody else play. And I was only 17 and a half then, and I was the youngest player in the junior national team at 15. And I was like, okay, I think my sister and my brother were studying medicine abroad already. So my dad played a mind trick on me. He's like, why don't you go for a change and visit Europe and, change your mind and then come back? And once I went there, I loved it. The weather, the people, the atmosphere, the respect my siblings got as doctors. And I was like, okay, I think this is what I was meant to do. And that's why God brought me here. And that's how I was like, okay, I love biology anyhow. So let's get into this. And it made me learn a lot. I think I grew as a person there, because once the umbrella protection of your parents is off your head, is when you actually realize who you are, what you can do, what are your limitations.
Well said. Well said. And then, from being a medical doctor, you decided to become an entrepreneur. Yes. Tell me about this journey and what was the reason for this change?
It was very frustrating always for me to see that, let's say, as a UAE citizen, we have certain privileges, and the most important one being the visa thing. We don't need a visa, right? It's our country, and the expats need that. So when you lose a job, or they lose or they don't get opportunities, they need to go back. And they've already come back with a baggage of loans or issues and family problems. And I always felt for them. And I was like, I need to create a stage, a platform, an organization where we could give opportunities to those people and then make a career out of it. So I got in 2013, I decided I was invited as the first Arab to be in part of the World Beauty Congress, which is doing beauty events. And after gaining my experience for 5 years, I started in 2017 in Dubai, where we started doing the World Beauty Championship, bringing 19 countries and 124 participants, 5,000 audience, doing the biggest live. The concept is live makeup, hairstyling, and designers. So it's a live. You see beauty being created. It's not a beauty pageant. It's more about the artists, the creativity, the creatives. So this way, I realized that I felt satisfied, and that satisfaction of seeing other people's life change in front of your eyes. Recently, one of our hairstylist champions from 2017 and 21, we awarded the best hairstylist in the UAE, created the Guinness Book of World Records for the 2-meter long hairstyling, like in height. So, I mean, these moments make me feel like, oh, I'm doing the right thing. I'm on the right track when I see people growing and being successful. So that was the main reason, to fill a gap where everything was very financially, how you say, based or, focused. So I said, let's create something which is heart to heart, Let me put my own savings from what I had into this and change lives. That's how I got into it, and I'm very happy I did. And
Oh,
now
amazing.
now we have an upcoming event in October. It's the first edition of UAE's Next Makeup Superstar. We're getting a lot of media and partners globally. It's a global event, so anybody can participate.
Wow. And what goes into curating a glamorous championship with so many VIPs?
I think the thing is, when you build a credibility, when you become your event and you become credible and you're consistent, and then you start networking as well, is when people see you and they want to know you. And like you asked me, what does it take? That's in their mind. How do you do it? And I was doing it all alone, because
Wow.
everybody that came on board, unfortunately, did not match the expectations or not so dedicated. Sometimes when some project becomes big, people just want to come there to take credit or be known through it. The intentions were not right. So I said, okay, I started this. Nobody owes anything to me. I owe it to me. So let me do it. So I ended up doing it alone, outsourcing the production. A to Z, even talking to the participants was through me. But to answer your question correctly, I think networking was the key, and networking, luckily, was the way that began in a big way in those years. Towards the 2015s and 16s, networking events had started. So it was great. It really helped me getting a lot of international players, a lot of international brands, because we do launching of brands and products and award ceremony and gala dinner. So it's a very what you call well-networked event. So people got to know that, oh, people are closing businesses there. They're getting to meet good people there. That's how it happened. And for me, the main priority to choose people or to select people, because it's only by invitation, was number one was kind people. So you have to have kindness, supporting nature, people who have built businesses successfully or failed, but are having the right intention towards the businesses, and good attitude. These were the four main things, and they would be invited. And because we find a lot of successful people in this world, but I want the good people to be on my in my room. So that's how I went about it. That's why we are still running fine for 10 years now.
Fantastic. And when you talk of beauty championship, you told me about hairstyling, told me a little bit about nails. How many different categories do you have?
We have, the concept I created was live makeup.
Okay.
So it's like 1 hour of competition, then hairstyling 1 hour, then the designers dress them up and they go on stage for the final look. So there are multiple stages. Now we are doing, we'll be introducing the, what you call, special effects makeup championship as well. We do bridal, we do haute couture, and these, like, there are different categories. We keep changing every time depending on the market demand or concepts we're okay with, or the jury, because the jury needs to have 15 years of experience minimum. So we bring them from international countries, because it's a growing market here. Of course, we have a lot of celebrity makeup artists now. That was the main idea, actually, to make just makeup artists who people were hiring for free, saying we'll give you a certificate to transforming them into celebrity makeup artists and hairstylists, so that they get the recognition they deserve and the position they deserve and the money they deserve.
And when you say that this is a global platform, there must be thousands of people applying from all the countries in the world.
Yes.
How do you decide on who to finally invite? Is there a lower, a competition in each country also?
Yes, we do like country-wise competitions. So we are what we call active in over 75 countries globally. So over 75 now, because Africa was not so active before. Now they are with their organic brands and everything. So there's a partnership there as well. So what happens is they have their own championships, and their champion of their competitions flies to Dubai during the World Championship. But post-COVID, I have changed the concept a bit. Instead of doing the global, because not everybody is or what do you call able to organize it with the situations their countries. Luckily, alhamdulillah, by the grace of God, UAE is more stable with that situation, and they came out of it very quickly and strongly. I changed the concept a bit, making the championships inside the UAE, because we have over 200 nationalities here. So, you know, the demand for going out and, you know, I could use that time to do an internal league. So the new concept of the October event will be having bi-monthly leagues. So I've made it a league concept. So even the sponsors or partners, they will get more what we call promotions and you know, people looking at the brand and branding opportunities. So their branding and visibility will be every 2 weeks till October, when the finals, when the grand finale will be. So it will be like a league concept, you know, like a club's football Premier League kind.
Fascinating. And tell me a little bit more about how you bring the judges in.
Yeah, we bring judges. There's a criteria to select them. They apply, and then they fly down from their countries. They need to have minimum 15 years of experience, 10 to 15 if they have, you know, achieved success on a different level. Because we want people who are good and very talented and experienced, plus people look up to them. So that reactions you can get to see when you post about them. And we try to bring people from institutes, because the students will get to know about it. So for me, more than the championship, it's about creating awareness. Because in the future, I have a plan of starting an organization that will support all these creative artists, even performance artists. Like right now, on coming Sunday, this Sunday, we have the finals, grand finale of the World Talent Hunt. So that one is, I think you would love to know the concept. The anti-bullying issue is, the bullying issue is very high in schools, like around 89.2% or something, unfortunately, which they're working very hard and strongly to, you know, bring it down and control it. And now it's a crime legally in the country since a while. So they're like coming very harshly on it. So this event was for creating awareness for anti-bullying.
Wow.
So we started in October. So since October till this Sunday, this was my only project. I didn't take up or thought about anything else. I said, need to give time for this, you know, and coming from the medical background, I was like, this is a mental illness.
Correct.
You know, and it becomes one for it is for the bully and for the one who's getting bullied as well, the victim as well. And they live this throughout their life in relationships and jobs and everywhere. So I think we need to put a stop to this or create awareness to it. Be a part of this thing. So 6 months for this project. Sunday is the final. So we took kids. We got the schools and universities involved, age 5 to 20, 21 and above. So 2 categories, and then bringing speakers to talk to them about it in schools and in events, and now in the grand finale. There are a lot of yeah. I mean, it's this is like my happy project at the moment. And post Sunday, we start working on the beauty again.
Amazing, amazing. So one more question on the UAE Beauty Championship, and then we'll move to another topic.
Sure.
You have been running this for 10 years.
Yes.
How has technology
Yeah.
changed the way you do or run these championships?
For now, I think technology, let's say, like if you're talking about AI, it has just, let's say, people are getting to know about it. We had UAE has we had the first graduates of AI University this year. You know, so it's pretty new. Now it depends on who's trained in it and how they're going to make use of. You know, of course, it'll be like a shortcut way of doing things. You know, it'll be more like instead of mailing through the cycles, you know, it'll be like going to Gmail. You know, but it all depends on if there is a requirement for that, because this is more of a people's work. You know, I think we are still on Excel sheets and emails and phone calls. So I think when the number will be actively, let's say we go back to, let's say, 75 countries, I think then it will help, you know, because then it'll make it more easier to function. Yeah, that way.
Okay, and one more question. How have these beauty championships benefited the competitors?
Yes. So I have seen a lot of lives change. Like literally, there were people who were in what you call domestically abused relationship and going through a lot of rough phases. People with very low income because of salon working in salons as a nail artist or a makeup artist, and I got to know about this much later once they became successful because people are not very open or comfortable to share while they're going through it because they don't know if they're coming out of it, you know.
Yeah.
When they did after my events platform and people got to know them, they found investors or distributors and they became owners of the salons where they found an investor and on 50-50, you know, partnerships. And they start their own brands of makeup or hairstyling or start their own institutes to teach and give certificates out because you're part of this. Because we give a ranking in the UAE from 1 to 10 or 1 to 20, every participant gets a ranking. So it's like participating in Olympics. So once you are there, nobody can ask you like, why are you better than me? Okay, if you so you can say if you're good, go and get your own ranking from there, you know. So I've seen people's lives change after that. They became successful. There's some people I mean, I'm sad to even share that they were even suicidal. This was like their last shot, and they got fame and name and money coming in and changed their life. You know, they could take care of the children. They became independent. You know, and there's a big number of people. Like if you go to the Dubai makeup artists freelance page, there are like 4 million people there. That's a massive number.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating. So now let me move, Dr. Mansoor, to the company that you founded, 786, which is a media production and communications company. Tell me a little bit about the work you do here.
So this was 2454 actually is a region in Abu Dhabi where it was built for growing the media platforms and companies. So we were one of the first ones to have our company there. And because they were encouraging Emiratis to come. But then again, everything was to be done by yourself. You cannot expect people to come there and give you projects, you know. So when I saw that, okay, there's not literally the support I expected. What I did was I started involving myself in corporate productions, Bollywood productions that were coming, get some work of the casting or producing commercials and the Bollywood teasers and stuff like that. And in that way, I got to connect deeply with the people that are working in the industry, and that's how I got into acting and producing and also directing. Well, films went for Hum TV awards, the famous Pakistani awards, if you know. Yeah, so I was in the top 5 movies and also as an actor there. I always loved acting. I've done you know, a lot of courses, short courses, and in Europe I've learned acting as well. So I just enjoyed it, and I was a Bollywood fan since birth, you know, because my dad used to make me watch Shri 420, you know, all the time, and Awara, and you know, Dilip Kumar movies. We grew up being movies, you know. And that's how we got into the media, I think, because it was a subconscious decision. Because consciously we were doctors, you know.
Amazing.
So yeah, this is how. But then we moved on to the events companies where I thought I could do what I'm doing in media, but I could just grow it, like scale it. It was basically for scaling. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about your acting. You know, what kind of roles have you done? Tell me the names of some of your more prominent movies or serials.
Yeah, I have done short roles in short films, which have gone to the LA Film Festival, Abu Dhabi Film Festival. One was Shomal, it was directed by an Iranian American director, which was released in the LA Film Festival. So my role of a doctor in that, you know. I mean, it just happened to fall into my lap because the doctor that was supposed to play the role didn't make it. And I was working there. So they were like, okay, we'll do a casting, and then they casted me. But it was great. Then I acted in The Capitol Garden, which is a 12-minute short film shot in Abu Dhabi, so you can see the locations there and everything. It was a good experience. And there were a couple of other roles. I acted in Airlift, but the scene did not make it till the end because they didn't have some permits for it. I had a good role with Akshay Kumar in Airlift. Yeah, but then end up being on the head. The only scene that was there was me getting shot in the head. But okay, I'm glad I was there.
Okay. No, I must look for you now. I'll go and see Airlift again. But wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
So I have time for 2 more questions. My next question is, you're also a big supporter of startup entrepreneurs. What kind of support you give them, and what are some of the basic mistakes a lot of
Yeah.
startup entrepreneurs make?
So we have come up with this event called the Pitch Perfect. So it's for it was like the concept of, like, if you've seen Shark Tank, it was different concept in the sense that the pitchers, the entrepreneurs come on stage and they're speaking directly to 200-300 well settled and well-to-do entrepreneurs and business owners, and also people who are into different industries as investors. That was my concept, but then I found out there are some legalities attached to it, and there need to be a lot of research. And me not being the best person in the finance background, I don't have a financial background, so I need to make a bigger team to take care of such an event. To have the background checks and all that going. Because to do anything in our country, you need to be very careful with all the legal matters as well. Because we are very careful here, which I'm happy about actually, because the percentage of error goes down a lot. You have genuine people on stage for businesses. So that's one concept we'll be coming up with. By 2021 is when we came up with the idea. Okay. So inshallah, maybe next year we'll be coming out with it, and let's see how that goes. And your second question was.
No, and what kind of support do you give to them? And what are some of the basic mistakes a lot of startup entrepreneurs make?
So this is what, for supporting the businesses, this is the concept we created. So everybody gets an opportunity, which, there's no barring for the nationality or culture or country they come from. I mean, what language they speak, they can just come and pitch their ideas. People who understand business will understand them. It's like a singing competition. You don't need to know the language. It's a good voice and you will connect with it. So that's for supporting the entrepreneurs. And also, I have a lot of people connecting through LinkedIn and other platforms. And I make sure that I give them the best information I have and I know about according to my knowledge. And that's the basics that I can do for now. And also at our events, they're most welcome to come and promote their brands, or if they already have entered the market or want to enter the market. It's a very big networking event, as well as they can launch their brands or businesses live on stage. So, and it is all live streamed, and we have viewership running into billions, from multiple channels in Europe, Asia, and the Arab community. So it's well supported. So this is how we give them more exposure and promotions, let's say.
Very interesting. And my last question to you, Dr. Mansoor, and this is for the thousands of people who will listen to our conversation. Based on your own amazing journey and all your learnings, what would you say are 3 lessons you would want our viewers and listeners to take away?
If you're talking about any field in the world, I think you need to have conviction. That's the most important. People will always have their own judgments and their own ideas and what they want to, according to their limitations. They say something like it won't happen, or it can't happen, or you can't do it. It's because that's their limitation of their vision. But God has given everybody a vision and a dream. And if you can dream, it means you can do it. Correct. That's the sign from God.
Correct.
And so I think that's one conviction. Keep going. And even you go through rough times, be honest with yourself and your vision, and just keep trying. Even if it takes you to go back and do, let's say you left your job for it, go back and do the job as well. Try to balance it out, because you need to keep the parents and family happy as well. Balance everything. So just balance it out. And the second thing is always be patient. The patience will teach you not to, don't get angry quickly. Don't be impulsive. I mean, it all comes with age and maturity. Yeah. But if you're hearing me, I think you can just work on it, because, even for me, it didn't sound sensible when I was younger. But then I was like, no, maturity does, solve 50% of your problems, because then maturity means not that you're older, but you're more knowledgeable and more aware, and that awareness is very important. Third, I think it would be a never give up attitude. I mean, you just need to keep going at it. It's like, where this short story I would like to share, these 2 people are digging, underground, and they're digging front ways, and then one guy gives up and he leaves after days of digging. And the moment he leaves, the other guy gives one more knock, and the wall comes down, and there's treasure on the other side.
Mm.
So you never know that one next knock would change your life and
Correct.
get you your mission. I mean, that's why I say, I mean, for me, it's the same. I think maybe tomorrow I'll get a better deal. Maybe tomorrow I'll get a better sponsor. Tomorrow I'll get a better partner. So I just keep going. That gives you drive and motivation. I think we should stop watching motivational videos and create our own motivational
Correct.
values within ourselves, so that we can succeed day to day. We won't need to depend on something else from outside.
Well said. And on that note, Dr. Mansoor, and your 3 amazing lessons, conviction is so critical. Patience is very important in all our lives. And the third one, which you said, is the never give up attitude. And I love your story about the 2 individuals digging. Thank you so much for speaking to me about your incredible journey. I mean, from a football player to a medical doctor to becoming an entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, building UAE Beauty Championships. Thank you also for speaking to me about the UAE Beauty Championship. And I was fascinating to hear about your journey as an actor. And, between Bollywood and the film industry in Pakistan. And I'm sure there'll be many, many more opportunities coming your way. Thank you again for speaking to me, and good luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Brand Called You videocast and podcast, a platform that brings you knowledge, experience, and wisdom of hundreds of successful individuals from around the world. Do visit our website www.tbcy.in to watch and listen to the stories of many more individuals. You can also follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just search for the Brand Called You.